everybody, Tyrone the God 3 here. Welcome back to Dragon Ball Super Reviews. Yes, I know, I'm a week late, which is why I'm reviewing both of these episodes at once conveniently again. But the other reason that I'm doing this is because both of these episodes pretty much develop the three Saiyans from Universe 6, Kaba, Kale, and Khalifa. So it's actually pretty convenient that I waited that 1 week. So now we get to do a review of literally all three of these characters and their episodes that are dedicated to them. So, the first episode is episode 112, and it's titled A Saiyan's Vow, Vegeta's Resolution. And then the second episode is 113, with Great Joy, the Repeat Battle Crazy Saiyan Fight. So basically, since both of these episodes have been out, I'm just going to go ahead and give the short form of the summaries while the two episodes are glued together. The first episode pretty much covers Kaba and his development as a character and basically goes over all of the efforts that he put into the Tournament of Power. He basically wants to protect Kale and Khalifa because, Kale has the power to turn into Savage, and Khalifa is notably stronger than Kaba just on a dominant scale. So, while this is taking place, he fights a Wibble Wobble. That's what I'm calling her. I don't care what her actual name is. He fights a Wibble Wobble. And he's doing bad at first, but then later he just digs in deep, and much like all the Saiyans in this series at this point, he can just transform into the new level. It doesn't take long. It doesn't take any build up. It's just sort of there. It happens. Boom, he transforms Super Saiyan 2. I will say aesthetically, I do like Kaba's Super Saiyan 2 transformation, but that's a personal bias because Super Saiyan 2 is my favorite Super Saiyan transformation, just because it's very subtle, but it's still a great, sleek-looking transformation. Other than that, since Kaba ends up beating the Wibble Wobble character, that's the only character Kaba ends up defeating before completely getting knocked out of the arena thanks to Frieza. Shortly after that, we move on to the next episode, which is the development between Kaba and Khalifa. So Khalifa is fighting off against Goku because Goku is losing against these robots. And then Khalifa comes in and transforms Super Saiyan 2 and has an all-out brawl with Goku. Now, one thing I will like is the fact that Goku was actually able to hold his own and beat Khalifa while he was at base form and Khalifa was at Super Saiyan 2. Like, this is good. I like this. I appreciate that. I'm glad Super finally knows the difference between levels of Super Saiyan. Because for the longest, Dragon Ball Super's been under this weird impression that whatever level of Super Saiyan you are, that's how strong you are permanently. Goku was at base form and talked to Beerus about having a sparring match, and Beerus stated that Goku can't be strong enough to have beaten Frieza. And then Goku turned Super Saiyan, and Beerus is like, oh, now I can see how you were able to defeat Frieza. It's like, no! Goku's base form is way stronger than he was back then when he fought off against Frieza as a Super Saiyan way back on Planet Namek. His base form is far superior to that of his Super Saiyan form. So if he turned Super Saiyan, he would have been more than strong enough to beat Frieza at that time. Those are two completely different times in Goku's life. But anyway, moving on. I love the fact that since Goku is a martial artist, now this is how they back it up. They say that Goku is using knowledge and reading all of Khalifa's moves, but let's be honest, Goku's also much stronger than Khalifa in his base form than Khalifa is at a Super Saiyan 2. But they try to cover it up by saying Goku is a skilled martial artist. But whatever, at least Goku didn't get his head smashed in by Khalifa because Khalifa's at Super Saiyan 2 and Goku's at base. Regardless, Goku ends up gradually transforming into Super Saiyan 2 and ends up having an all-out brawl against Khalifa. The two are even at this point now, and I think Goku's just humoring her. And the two are literally fighting it out. And while they're fighting it out, Kale is just watching in admiration of Khalifa. Then Goku basically tells Khalifa to join in, to tell Kale to join in. Kale ends up turning into her Super Saiyan transformation, and the two end up fighting off against Goku. Goku's at a disadvantage now because it's 2 versus 1, and that pushes Goku to turn Super Saiyan 3, because the whole goal here was for Kale and Khalifa to turn Super Saiyan 3. I'll get on that in my cons section of these 2 episodes later on. So, after that's done and Goku turns Super Saiyan 3, turns back into Super Saiyan 2 and continues the brawl with Kale and Khalifa, and after that not much really happens. And then the episode basically ends there. the pros to both episodes. For the first one, with Kaba, I do like I said, I like aesthetically how Super Saiyan 2 looks. Vegeta saved Kaba from falling. I should have mentioned that earlier. Um, yeah, they're continuing that whole Vegeta mentoring Kaba type of deal, and yeah, it seems especially jarring when Goku ends up mentoring Kale and Khalifa. It's almost like they're trying to make another Dragon Ball series based off of the Universe 6 Saiyans after this, as if we're gonna complete or make like a spin-off series, which would be kind of cool. But right now they're rushing the power ups through all of these characters so fast. I really don't have the time to really invest in any of these characters from Universe 6, at least Saiyan wise. But that digs a little into the cons. So time to reel it back into the pros. For the Kaba episode, like I said, I do like Kaba's way that he looks when he's at Super Saiyan 2. I thought that was pretty cool. And if we're talking about the next episode, then I do like, again, how Goku was able to still have the upper hand in the fight with Khalifa while he was at base against Khalifa Super Saiyan 2. That's good. Not every transformation means that you're stronger than the person you're fighting. If Goku and Goten fought and Goten was at Super Saiyan and Goku was at base, that doesn't mean Goku loses. Like, that's dumb. So, yeah, I'm glad they actually put that into detail. I do. Now, some people are going to comment in the comment section, the Patafu arc did the same thing. Well, no, yes and no, actually. There were several factors. One, that's a fusion Super Saiyan 3, which has a completely different scale of power that I'm not ready to measure. And two, that wasn't the real Vegeta. It was a Patafu clone of Vegeta. We don't know exactly how powerful it is because it's a clone. Its power varies all over the place. But anyway, I do like that Goku was able to gain the upper hand even at base form against the Super Saiyan 2 Khalifa. That was cool. I will say the fight looked okay, but honestly, and I want to make a separate video on this later, just commenting on just like, the fighting in Dragon Ball Super and some things I'm starting to notice. Granted, I will praise Super for actually stepping up its animation game. They've come a long way since the horrid Episode 5 stuff and even the Resurrection F stuff. So yeah, they've come quite a way since then. But there's a lot of things I noticed that's very jarring about the action scenes in Dragon Ball Super. More specifically, that one scene, the scene where they have them do the 3 frames of fighting animation and repeat it across the landscape while they're moving up and the stadium they're fighting on is moving the opposing direction, which would be down. So they were moving in an upwards vertical direction. Well, they were moving in a northwest vertical direction while the stage itself is moving in a southeast southeast vertical direction. You know what I'm talking about if anybody pays hard attention to it. But regardless, that'll be for another day. The cons, oh boys. First of all, I don't know why the hell that Kaba lost in like one fight. We barely see him in the tournament, and the only time he really does something was when he fights the Weeble Wobble ass woman. And then that's it. That's literally the only thing he does. And then he's knocked out. And Kaba and Hit are like 2 of the strongest characters in Universe 6, and they're down. But Kale and Khalifa are here now, so we don't really have to worry about that anymore. It's still kind of jarring to me, though, that they axed off 2 of the most important characters. I can understand why Hit, because they wanted to show off how strong Jiren was. Kaba, I still think they could have kept him in this tournament a little longer, and it wouldn't have hurt much. It just seems kind of awkward to me that they axed him so quickly, and all he really has to show for it is that he knocked out, 2 warriors? One of them being a very minuscule ass fighter, and the other one being a wibble wobble lady. Okay, I guess. As far as the other episode goes, I have a lot more cons here. One of them being that fight scene, like I stated before. While I praised it for being better looking, I will have to say it seems kind of like it's better looking in terms of Dragon Ball Super standards, but I think there needs to be times where Dragon Ball Super's fights need to take a minute to absorb each attack. I know that may sound weird. Like I said, I'm going to make a video covering that later. But to give the clip notes version of what I'm talking about, there's moments in Dragon Ball Z fights where not every punch and kick has to be these super fast. Like, not every moment has to be like that. Some fights just have those one moments where a boom, one huge hit happens, and the fighter takes it all in, and it's really hard. And the funny part is that they actually did it with one of Gohan's fights earlier in this tournament, where he fought off against a dude that can, like, scatter his energy to make him seem like he's in more than one place. And Gohan and him had like a little moment where they were doing that for a while. And if we want some Dragon Ball Z examples, I know Piccolo and Android 17 had this moment where they were like punching each other so hard you could see like the impact of their punch showing up on their back. Like 17 would punch Piccolo and you can see like his fist kind of making an imprint in Piccolo's stomach leading up to the back area. And Piccolo would do the exact same thing. And then Goku and Majin Vegeta had this really good moment too, where they were fighting in slow-mo. Like the two were like, bam, Goku would punch Vegeta, and then Vegeta very slowly tripped Goku, and then Goku tripped Vegeta, so both of them were falling slow motion. Really, it was really cool looking. It was aesthetically, it was just nice, because you could feel every punch, every kick, every movement. Whereas in Dragon Ball Super, it's like, we're having a good fight. You can tell because we're doing the same 3 frames of animation and going, it's just, it's annoying. It's kind of annoying. The first few times it was okay. It got annoying. And I can see Dragon Ball Super's even picked up its own styles of having really good looking flow motion action fights. For example, when Goku Black and Zamasu fought against Goku and Super Saiyan 2 Trunks. Like, that's a good example of us developing with the times in terms of good animated fights, because Dragon Ball Z never really done some fights that looked quite like that. They've had some good fights, obviously, but they never had a fight that looked quite like that, where everything was just in constant flowy motion because the technology wasn't the same. So, yeah, it's just moments like that seem like they would be really good. But regardless, the other thing I don't like I said, is the Super Saiyan 3 transformation. First of all, we have to take into account that Khalifa literally just turned Super Saiyan not like, I don't know, less than 20 episodes ago. She turned Super Saiyan. And then she turned Super Saiyan 2 on accident, then fought Goku so she could master Super Saiyan 2, and now she's shooting for Super Saiyan 3. It's like, girl, slow down. Second of all, it's Super Saiyan 3. We've already gained the impression that Super Saiyan 3 is an irrelevant-ass transformation. Goku got his ass kicked by Beerus when Goku went Super Saiyan 3 against Beerus. Goku stopped using Super Saiyan 3 literally after that, never really used it again except to show it off to Trunks briefly, and then that's about it. He never really uses it because it consumes too much energy. It literally zaps a lot of energy. It drains so much ki, there's no point in it anymore. It's like Ultra Super Saiyan at this point. It's an irrelevant transformation. So if it's an irrelevant transformation, why use it? And that's what's bothering me. Why is Kale and Khalifa so fixated on Super Saiyan 3, knowing that Super Saiyan 3 is a useless transformation? Vegeta skipped it, so why can't they? I mean, like, yeah, I don't think it'd be wise to teach them how to use God Ki in the middle of a tournament. In fact, I really don't like this whole training while the tournament is taking place, because there's a giant timer ticking away at 23 minutes right now, and all the universes are going to get wiped out, so I don't think this is really the time to be training. It works in other sagas of Dragon Ball because they were in situations that granted them to get stronger, you know? Gohan and Krillin landed on planet Namek in the Frieza saga, and they were kind of weak compared to the Namekians, Frieza's forces, and Vegeta, but they were able to help out the Namekians and get stronger thanks to Guru, and then later they were able to get stronger thanks to Zenkai boost and wearing different armor and things like that. So they came out stronger than they went in, but that was because they were in a situation that demanded them to get stronger. This is a tournament. If anything, it's just for fun for Zeno and the other gods of destruction and angels and stuff. So right now, this just feels like they're wasting time. And spoiler alert for you guys, I've heard that Kale and Khalifa are supposed to fuse next episode. And that's a problem because how the hell are they even going to learn how to do that? I know Shampa's supposed to teach them, but in the middle of the tournament, it just, I don't know. It just seems like a lot is happening really fast and there's no real way to contain it all. And I'm not invested in any of these three Saiyans, Kale or Khalifa, especially because they were introduced later than Kaba. I'm not invested in these Saiyans enough to care. Like, I'm sorry, literally, I don't care about these Saiyans enough to go, ooh, they're gonna fuse, because they literally just appeared in the series not 20 episodes ago. But I guess if you want to go ahead and break it down like that, so in conclusion, these episodes were okay. Like I said, these episodes weren't fantastic. These episodes did develop all three of the Saiyans from Universe 6. It feels like right now they're trying their best to develop other characters, and since Universe 6 is basically Universe 7's sideshow, they're getting a lot of development too, because one, they had a saga that revolved around them once, so we know about them a little bit better. And two, Kaba, Kale, and Khalifa are all Saiyans. And you know Saiyans, they gotta get their precious spotlight because Saiyans, it's Saiyan with titties. Yay. Yay, Khalifa. I'll make a video about her later on as well, by the way, if you all were wondering, because there's some things I gotta say about both of the female Saiyans, but more specifically Khalifa. But with that said, the next episode is 114, Intimidating Passion, the birth of a new super warrior. So with that said, I'll see you all then, everybody. Cyrone the Guy 3 out.